There's a special kind of frustration that comes from feeling stuck. It's that heavy, silent pressure you feel in your chest. You keep searching for answers, but nothing seems to fit. The more you dig, the deeper the hole seems to get. It's like being lost in a maze with no exit. I remember the questions I used to ask myself in those moments. Why is this happening to me? What am I doing wrong? When will things finally change? These questions became a loop in my mind. They didn't offer any hope. They just made me feel small, powerless, and alone. It's easy to get trapped in this cycle. We start to believe that the problem is us. We start to think that maybe we're just not meant to figure things out. But what if the real problem isn't the answers we're chasing, but the questions we're asking? This realization didn't come to me overnight. It took time, struggle, and a willingness to look deeper. But when I finally saw it, everything changed. For a long time, I operated on autopilot. I did what I thought I was supposed to do. Wake up, go to work, try to make people proud, try not to mess up, repeat. I was so focused on not failing that I forgot to ask myself why I was even doing any of it. My questions were always about control. How can I fix this? How can I avoid pain? How can I make everyone happy? These questions sound logical, but they kept me stuck. They were about surviving, not living. They were about fear, not growth. The more I tried to control everything, the more out of control I felt. I was exhausted, I was frustrated, and I was nowhere closer to feeling fulfilled. I was asking questions that only led to more anxiety. It took a lot of honesty to see that my questions were the problem. I wasn't asking what mattered, I was just trying to avoid discomfort. And that's not how you build a meaningful life. Everything changed the day I asked a different question. I was sitting at my desk feeling overwhelmed. I was tired of feeling like a failure. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? I asked, what is this trying to teach me? That one question flipped my entire perspective. Suddenly my struggle wasn't just a punishment, it was a classroom. I started to see my pain as a teacher, not an enemy. I realized that every challenge had something to offer me, if I was willing to listen. I didn't need to have all the answers, I just needed to stay curious. That new question brought a sense of hope. It gave me permission to be human, to make mistakes, and to grow. I stopped seeing myself as a victim. I started to see myself as a student of life, and that made all the difference. It wasn't easy. Old habits die hard. But every time I remembered to ask better questions, I felt a little lighter, I felt a little braver, and I started to move forward. Once I started asking better questions, my entire world shifted. I began to ask, how can I use this experience to become stronger? What values do I want to live by? Who do I want to be, even when things are hard? These questions gave me direction. They helped me focus on what I could control. My response, my attitude, my growth. I stopped looking for quick fixes. I started looking for meaning. I realized that pain and struggle are part of the journey. They don't have to define me, but they can refine me. I learned to trust the process, even when it was uncomfortable. This shift didn't just change how I saw my problems, it changed how I saw myself. I became more patient, more compassionate, more willing to take risks. I learned to see setbacks as setups for something better. It's not about having all the answers. It's about asking the questions that lead you to a deeper truth. That's where real growth happens. So how do you start asking better questions? First, notice the questions you're already asking. Are they keeping you stuck, or are they helping you move forward? If your questions are filled with blame or fear, try to shift them toward curiosity and growth. Instead of why me, ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of how do I make this go away, ask, how can I become stronger through this? Instead of what if I fail, ask, what will I gain by trying? These small changes can make a huge difference. Practice self-reflection. Write your questions down, say them out loud, share them with someone you trust. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Over time, you'll notice your mindset shifting from fear to possibility. Remember, you don't have to do this alone. Reach out for support. Surround yourself with people who ask good questions too. Together, you can help each other grow. In Islam, We're taught that God is Al-Hakim, the All-Wise. Every challenge we face has a purpose, even if we can't see it right away. The Quran reminds us, perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you. Allah knows, while you know not. This wisdom invites us to trust the process and to keep asking questions that bring us closer to understanding. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, encouraged deep reflection. He taught that true strength isn't about never falling, but about rising every time we do. Our struggles are not punishments. They are opportunities to build resilience, patience, and faith. Philosophers across time, from Socrates to Rumi, have echoed this wisdom. They remind us that the unexamined life is not worth living. When we ask better questions, we align ourselves with truth, with growth, and with the wisdom that's always been there. So, what questions are you asking yourself right now? Are they leading you to fear or to faith, to blame or to growth? Maybe it's time to shift. Maybe everything can change just by asking the right question. And check out this videos right here. It'll take your journey even further. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Peace and blessings.